With the U.S. government 12 days away from shutting down, House Republicans were plagued by infighting between Kevin McCarthy and a handful of far-right lawmakers who refused to approve a measure to keep the government open through October. In a sign of how bad the split has become, a procedural vote on the short-term funding bill expected to happen today was canceled, and an attempt to advance a Pentagon spending bill was voted down, thanks to right-wing Republicans. But even if the House does get its ducks in a row, Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer said the short-term measure they would have voted on will not pass the chamber. It's clear there's a lot of negotiating remaining if a government shutdown is to be avoided. Here's what else happened today. House Republicans will hold the first hearing of their impeachment inquiry against Joe Biden next week. Mitch McConnell, the top Senate Republican, warned that the GOP may be blamed if the government shuts down. A Trump supporter at the center of conspiracy theories over January 6th has now been charged for his actions during the insurrection. Biden addressed the United Nations General Assembly in New York City, and we have a live blog covering the day's events. Jimmy Carter's one-term presidency may have been on Biden's mind as he pursued a deal with Iran that led to the release of 7 Americans yesterday. As Politico reports, House Republicans aligned with Kevin McCarthy, which is most of them, had hoped that teeing up a vote on the defense spending measure would break the logjam with right-wing legislators who are holding up business in the chamber. But it didn't work. The 5 GOP no votes, together with the Democrats' refusal to vote for legislation they oppose, doomed the effort to begin debate on the bill. Punchbowl News reports that Republican lawmaker Mike Garcia accused the 5 Republicans who voted the rule down of, essentially, aiding the enemy. Dysfunction reigns in House as GOP fails to advance defense spending bill. In a sign of how bad things have become in the House, Republican leaders just held a crucial vote to advance a Pentagon spending bill, but failed to win enough support for its passage after Democrats and a handful of GOP lawmakers opposed it. Representatives were voting on a rule to begin debate on the bill, but that failed to pass after Democrats, who appear perfectly happy watching the GOP's slim majority slide into dysfunction, voted against it, as did a handful of Republicans. As it became clear that GOP leadership would not be getting its way today, sarcastic Democrats took to shouting order in the chamber. There's a new twist in the story of Ray Epps, a Donald Trump supporter who was present on January 6th and later found himself the subject of right-wing conspiracy theories that baselessly alleged he was an agent provocateur. As The Guardian's Martin Pingley reports, he himself is now in trouble with federal prosecutors. Ray Epps, a Donald Trump supporter, Oath Keepers militia member, and January 6th participant who became the subject of right-wing conspiracy theories about the attack on Congress, has been charged with 1 criminal count related to the riot. In a court filing in U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C., dated Monday, federal prosecutors charged Epps with disorderly or disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds. The charge can carry a sentence of up to 10 years. A former U.S. Marine from Arizona, Epps went to Washington in January 2021 to join protesters seeking to block Joe Biden's victory over Trump in the presidential election the previous November. On the night of January 5th, he was filmed in downtown Washington, telling other Trump supporters, "Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol, peacefully." The next day, as Trump told supporters to fight like hell in his cause, the Capitol came under attack. The attack failed and Trump's defeat was confirmed. 9 deaths have now been linked to the riot. The notion that Epps was a federal agent, acting as a provocateur, took root early. On the night of January 5th, some around him chanted, "Fed! Fed! Fed! Fed!" In footage of the attack, after a Capitol police officer went down, Epps was seen pulling a rioter aside. Right-wing media, prominently including the then Fox News primetime host Tucker Carlson, eagerly took up the theory that Epps was linked to federal agents.